Hello, FPL managers. You are welcome to another edition of the FPL Ambassadors show. It's a very great time to be back, and game week 4 is just upon us. I have my usual co-host, Rowland Ekuban, senior FPL manager, aka the fans giver of me, the -4 champion. Here with us. Roland, how are you? Roland, how are you? How are you today, Charlie?
I'm not bad. I'm not bad at all. Yourself?
Charlie, I am well by God's grace. And we have one of the best managers in Ghana today in our midst. I call him top notch FPL manager. He always goes his own way and gets his point. He is the winner of Ghana's mini whole Ghana last year, 2021, and the winner of the 10,000 Ghana series on the GMABC Fantasy League last year as well. Charlie, Alex, 10,000 I signed as a view. What's the day?
Ayera.
Charlie. Welcome, FPL manager, Charlie. You are welcome, and we are glad to have you here for another splendid FPL show. Charlie, guys, game week 3. The budget guys, Rodrigo did it to Chelsea. You know, Alex, you were telling me that I shouldn't play Rodrigo against Chelsea, and I told you that, Charlie, I just feel that at least having the home support would push them to be able to do something against Chelsea. And you were like, oh no, Pascal Gross. And I told you that he's your guy. Rodrigo is your guy, but you didn't play him. Charlie, what happened? Tell us about our game.
You also told me to play Ward over Sanchez.
No, that is Roland. Roland, your first fire. Answer the question before we go. Roland, you talked about what? You said we will see. What did we see?
Well, I think for about 70 minutes it wasn't bad. Then all of a sudden we capitulated. It was one of those shots that, I mean, Shea Adams just comes onto the pitch, then he's scoring left, right, and that is all that. He scores the clean sheet.
It's Shea Adams' fault.
Chiada's second goal was very, very, very sharp goal. That goal where if Ronaldo or Messi scored,
I'm telling you, it was a beautiful goal.
So, aside the budget players doing the very good job for us, what are our key picks from? What are our quick things that we picked up from game week 3? Anything, Alex?
Oh, Ivan Toney.
I
didn't regret bringing in Tony and Zinchenko.
Okay.
I think they all delivered instantly. In fact, I think Gross also did well. I got an assist.
Yeah, Gross did well. Yeah, Gross did well. Yes, so that is Pascal Gross for you. Okay, Roland, any key points you picked up from game week 3 before we move on? These are, you've not had a lot of data yet, so these are just little snipers that we have picked. By the time we get to game week 5 and 6, we'll be able to have a lot of data and know the patterns of various teams as well. Roland, anything you picked up?
I think that the big at the back, soon it will die.
Roland, what's the name? What's the name?
The big at the back. Oh, it's finished. Because what I noticed over the weekend, yes, this weekend was much of an anomaly in terms of results, being skewed towards one way. I think I was having a look at some shots, how do you call it, those who are analytic.
Football Glass FC.
Yes, when it comes to those stuff, Liverpool have conceded 9 big chances and whatnot, Newcastle, but those things are skewed because, I mean, if you look at the Newcastle against Man City game, they considered like 7 chances. So before that, they had considered only 2 in 2 games.
Okay.
So it's a bit skewed. So those things, I don't really pay attention to them. But like I said, I think it's an anomaly of a weekend. Things will resume to normal this weekend. But I think the big at the back will be. We are beginning to find out that those who are hitting the ground running. In terms of Rodrigo, we'll get to find out the 7 to 8 million midfielders that we need in our teams, and you see everyone moving away from the big at the back very soon. So that's what I picked up this weekend.
Okay, so the big at the back is now an issue, whether we should go big at the back or go big at the front. You know, last season, FPL managers, we had some issues about whether we should go big at the back or big in front, and our strikers were not performing very well. So the template moved to big at the back, but it's looking that the strikers are annoyed, like Ivan Toney, Harry Kane, and Co. They are really annoying. They're telling us actually. They are the reason why we play football. Mo Salah and Co cannot be scoring goals, and Son will be scoring goals, whilst the strikers who are paid to score goals are there. So that is. I think that's a very important information. So managers should watch. I want to always say is every FPL season is different on its own. So though we came to the season with a big at the back plan, at a point just watch. Is it suitable this season or not? Is there a need to change or not? And then we know what to do over there. So these are some key things. And then Charlie, Roland, congrats to Man U. United. Roland, say something. Oh, Charlie, let's go on. This one is behind.
As you say, silence is golden, so this is enough.
Southampton, you miss Southampton this week, and you see what your true smoothness level. Charlie, the Champions League draw was just done today, and any key point, which team is the group of death? Looking at it, or which group do you think that is very tricky? Which group do I think is very tricky, or which group interests you? Alex, which group interests you, or Roland? Whoever wants to have a stake can have a stake quickly.
For me, I think it's Group C.
Group C. Hey, Barca boys, okay.
Barca, Bayern, and Inter. I'm not sure which two will get out of that group.
So, if I put you on the spot, who will get out of that group? Bayern is sure, right?
Bayern for sure. Barca and Inter, I'm not sure which one.
I will stick my neck out for Barca.
No, they are not gelling very well. I think their first match they drew. They brought on all the players they could. And they still couldn't win a simple game. It will take time.
It will take time. But I think that it depends on how if they are playing Pleasant as their first match, then it's quite easier for them. So by the time they'll play the second match, they would have played enough games to be able to do well. Roland, what group is interesting you, or you want to have a take on the Group C there?
Okay, the Group C, I think Bayern and Inter should be good to go there. I don't see Barca, getting out of the group. Anyway, but I think that year in, year out, I don't know. Well, Man City, they have money and they've been giving the money to the UEFA people because year in, year out, their groups are so easy. What kind of money teams are these? Year in, year out.
Oh, Charlie.
For me, that's really... there isn't really a group of death like before, but Group B looks good. Any one of the four can qualify. Any two out of the four. Group B, Porto, Atletico, Leverkusen, Club Brugge. Any two out of those four can. There is no big. That one is Obia Bobby. So more or less, yes. There's no superstar there that you can, say, "Oh, I'm afraid of." They can all play, and any two can qualify. So I think that's about it. Liverpool's group is okay. Chelsea's group is okay. Yeah.
They said the Champions League, the raw juice is in the round of 16. So when we get there, we'll know everybody's proper swimmers level. Okay. If your manager is that the Champions League is about to start, and because the Champions League is about to start, what it means is that there are going to be rotation this year. Let me pick the fixture schedule. The fixture schedule has something like this. Now let's look here. Let me pick it up. It's here. Yes. Now after this game week 4, we have a midweek game week 5. After the game week 5, we have game week 6. That's a Saturday. Then Champions League first round. Then we come and play game week 7. Then we have Champions League second round. Normally, Champions League we play it 2 weeks. But this year we're going to play it 1 week. Because we need to finish everything before the World Cup. The World Cup is due. So it's a very tough thing for us. And the managers, if you watch very well, the teams that are going to play about 6 games over just a period of just 3 weeks. So it means like almost every 3 days they are playing a fixture. So it means that managers should start working on their bench. Pereira is not enough for your bench. Start having enough players for your bench. I want to buy some players and make sure that at least I have 2 bench, first and second, so that just in case somebody is benched, you buy. And then know that it will be better to buy a Hurricane at this time than Haaland, because most likely Pep will rotate, Conte will not rotate. So now from now go to game week 8, any transfer you are going, ask yourself, is this player rotatable or not? Always buy more. So that is when now the Mitrovic and the Ivan Tonys are only going to do the job very there. So that is it for the Champions League. And we want to see another big congrats to Nios Banaman for winning. Last year he had his 1,000 Ghana. He was really, really, really happy. I know, boys. Charlie, Alex, did you get the money from me? Did me mind you and answer one because I wasn't there.
Charlie. Once the cramming, yeah.
Me, please come on show today and come and tell us why you have not dashed boy some of your 1,000 Ghana cedis. Okay, enough of
you have to when you got times 10. Did you see 50 pesos?
Alex,
I didn't know him at the time.
You didn't know him.
I knew you come up with that. I just knew you say that.
boys. Okay, sure. So congrats to
So Ray, what's the next year? Is it the same?
Yes, thank you, Roland. This year to 1,000 Ghana cedis is up for grabs for whoever will win the FPL Ambassadors League will top it. And it's a very simple requirement. We're asking boys, we are doing this for you. It's not like say it was behind this card, but we think that it's better to reward anybody who wins our league. So all we are saying is just subscribe to the channel. It's not this code that you are using. There's the new code. I'll launch it for everyone to change. So this is the code from last week that we used to advertise. I want to show boys that whatever we advertised was what we gave out. So this year's design will come, but we'll surely put the code out for managers to see. I think the code is even going down the downside of the screen. So congrats to Ni. We want to hear your comments. Say something today, Roland. So this was your team game week 3. Quickly, what happened?
I think that I didn't really have a change to make. So I was torn between doing nothing and wasting a transfer, or doing something and because I felt that my team was okay. So instead, I was wary of the James move. So I decided to bring in, before the season started, my team was between James and Diaz and Mount and Robertson. And I went the other way around. Right. So that is where it has really, I don't want to take a hit. So I left it at that. I went in for Diaz. Diaz, got 2 points. It's better than Robertson's 1. 2 points. It's better than Robertson's 1. Then James 2 got 1, which Mount 2 got 2. So me, what I did now, I'm asking myself, where did I go or did I come?
Yeah, I
so 3 points there. I think I wanted to captain Kane. And again,
you're afraid of Elekikov.
Yes, naturally, I have these kind of bombers that I use when playing FPL. Yes, I don't really call it superstition, but I just call it. I've been bent by it several times, so more or less, I feel that I shouldn't go that route again. That's it.
Okay.
So the early kickoff Monday games.
You don't like them?
I don't like to have captains in them. Yes, the early kickoffs, then Monday games. So that's about it. So I think I went for Jesus. He had a lot of chances, but he didn't make use of them. So you allow me to talk. You're cutting me plain.
Sorry. Okay. Roland, I'm sorry. Roland, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Oh, no. Don't worry at all. So the rest there is there for everyone to see. I think that's about Pereira was a shock 8-pointer for me. Then I think the back line there, 1-1. it's a barcode. They are giving me it,
0011.
So they should continue like that. So that's about the way we can look at your team.
Yes. So, but talk of Jesus, Charlie, England for some guys had, how can they see that Jesus was offside for his ball he scored, but Rashford was not offside? They should stop that thing. We don't like that. That permitted that did for Man Munjaisa. Because Jesus is Brazilian and then Rashford is English. Let's move on. So, Pema captain Mo Salah once again did the job, even in a very bad game. He showed us why he's a Pema captain. So, Charlie, I've told boys, don't worry about captains. Just captain Salah the whole season. You will get the best captaincy than just doing the hooky pooky. You go to Salah today, you go to Hurricane, they will dodge you, sir. Just put your captaincy on Salah and then have advice of maybe Jesus or Haaland. You are good to go. Now, what I did last week I didn't kind of So last week, Iman Ampedu on the show was saying that I should play Trippier ahead of Patterson. And funny enough, it's very funny. Trippier ahead of Patterson. Kwame Yanda, the guy I was battling with to win the 2020 Ghana League. He's now my FPL friend when I won that year. Now, what Kwame told me that this is what happened. I initially on Saturday morning, I bought Trippier rather instead of Patterson because my analysis was very simple. It's very true. Everton would keep a clean sheet. Can keep a clean sheet against Nottingham Forest, but then it's also likely they will concede because we all know Everton. They kept the clean sheet around the 80th minute, then bang, it's what? Alex, you're laughing. So at the end, I told myself, no. If all the two are likely to lose their clean sheet, who most likely will get a goal or an attacking return? So I said Trippier. And I said, even Trippier can even score a free because my City can do rough and then cut somebody. Rodri, that's a tactical foul, and then they'll get a free kick and then bang, he'll score. So I changed my team to Trippier, and then I tweeted my team on Twitter, my Twitter handle, that this was my team. And then Kwame wanted to see my team and say, no. He disagrees with me playing Trippier ahead of Patterson. And his point was very simple. He said that he had watched the Everton 2 games. I hadn't watched them, and he was like, the Everton defense was quite really very good. So if it was very good, I was like, okay, at least against Nottingham Forest, at least at home they can keep the clean sheet. So I said, okay, Kwame, it's always good to listen to advice. I changed it and then Charlie, come and see. So Trippier, and yes, you are still my guy. Okay. Let me leave it.
Is it me or his line is breaking?
I see you cannot talk. You can say something.
Yeah, his line is
Alex,
breaking.
can you hear me?
Yeah,
my line is breaking. Okay,
yeah,
good.
I can hear
so
you
I was
now.
saying, great. So I was saying I have Trippier 6 points on my bench, and you have Rodrigo 13 points. Say something. I am crying over my 6 points. It's fine.
I think you don't have to cry, given the circumstance at the time. I think you made the right decision. I would have played Patterson over over Trippier, simply because remember I told you I'm sure City will score at least 3 goals, and they scored 3 goals. And I was torn between captaining Haaland or Jesus. So I don't think I would have played Trippier. Knowing very well that they will concede more than 2 goals. I think it's fine.
Charlie. But Charlie, his free kick was very sweet. Hey! Wow. Okay. So Alex, talk about the team.
So for my team, I'm happy with whatever happened. Simply because Rodrigo, I was torn between Rodrigo and Gross. I had Rodrigo right from the beginning. I didn't bring him in to play him. No. I brought in Gross because I needed to play Gross. I thought he was on penalties, but it turned out not to be the case. If he had taken the first penalty, perhaps I would have had 13 points, just like what Rodrigo had. I don't think it's a problem.
Just like Rodrigo had got. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. And I also believe that Chelsea had a better defense. Okay. Charlie,
I can hear you very well. looks like today my network is rather being slow. That is why when I talk, it takes a while for you to hear. But a very solid team. Alex, I want to say that you are among the very few guys at top 100K. You are top 100K, and I really want to salute you for that. Even though you have a red arrow, your top 100K is a very, very, very top performance. The Charlie, you are showing us that you have won the board and Nico Williams. We asked you why. You said, "Oh, those guys with the Rowland defending."
I'm trying to be like you.
Me. I beg you.
Rowland, defend your ward and Nico Williams.
So goalkeeper, what for? You see, Ward wasn't a bad decision, and I still stand by it. I don't see anything wrong with Ward because Southampton went pushing the numbers for attack, so I didn't see what was wrong with it. It's just like you picking how you call it, Lloris, and Wolves gets a fluke goal. It's the same thing. So I stick by my word. I don't see anything wrong with it. Right? It's a good decision, but a bad outcome. That's it. Nico Williams too was a good decision, but a bad outcome. If Henderson hadn't come out of his post at that point in time, that goal wouldn't have been scored by Gray. Right? Nico Williams had about 2 or 3 shots on target. Yeah, so he gets a yellow card, then it turns sour. Right? It doesn't mean that it wasn't a good pick. You see, let managers know that. The banter there is there because my players, they blasted. I don't have an issue with it. But I want you to, the managers outside there to also understand. I want them to understand that we all pick a player because we feel the player will do well. We don't pick players because we think they don't do well. So if you pick the player and you didn't do well this week, that's not the end of it. You just go again. That's what FPL is all about. So don't be worried. I think they has to blast 2. Tony was the only saving grace. I think 8. Watkins too wasn't bad. Kane wasn't bad. So I think that if out of 6, I guess it's not bad. 50%.
Better than me.
I don't even know yours, so I'm now looking through.
So 50%. Okay, so I had Loris. So Loris did the job for me. James Darby.
Yes.
Kulusevski Darby. Jesus, yes. Madison. Perfect differential.
Yes. Oh.
And it's actually the same thing.
Top 3.
Nah, the line is breaking.
But you, Raymond, cry. I don't understand you. When you pick a player and he does well, it is like your player there. He's done exceptionally well. I'm my own. Continue waving your hands up and down. When
I'm sure he doesn't know we can't hear him.
I know. Alex, you're not wrong.
So I have 4 out.
Ray, your line is not clear. It's not clear at all.
So Ray picked the guys on the right, and then you picked the ones on the left.
Yeah, you picked the guys on the right. I picked the guys on the left.
And that's actually the same thing. You guys did well in the score department, and then the differential department does it.
Don't mind him.
Like the captains almost had the same points.
Don't mind him. FPL, I've realized that usually those who are experts in, like if you listen to late Riser and Co, when they get one decision that they made right, they make so much noise about it, as if they were the only ones who thought through. Yeah, so I think that is not bad for the picks per se, but looking at it, all these picks here, James was a good pick before the Leeds game. Who would have thought that Leeds would have scored them 3-0? Or
True.
Alex, you don't get the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it,
I known that they will concede 3 goals, I would have played Rodrigo. So I'm sure we all didn't think
yes,
so.
of course. If I thought so, then I wouldn't have hurried myself into bringing James into my team.
Oh yeah.
Because yes, then I would have just left him and tried to, rectify another area somewhere. But I even wanted to give Mount another opportunity to show. When with Mount this season has been really baller. Mount has really, really disappointed. Mount has disappointed. The Chelsea team itself, the whole season they've been nothing to write home about. It was the Spurs game that got everyone deceived into thinking that they played well. But every team has an off day. So some of these things. Raymond, you're back. I'm saying that when you get one decision right, you make noise about it. Like this one is some superhuman thing you have done. That's why I'm entering your home. You FPL experts, when you come and then do yourself like you last week, the picks that you did, all of them blasted. That one they didn't post it. But when everybody see the good one, they get to put it there that yes, these are my picks. Let's go on. My goalkeeper, I've gone for Sanchez. Okay. Sanchez, everyone has made a lot of noise about Sanchez. Let's see him flop this week. Defender, Cucurella. If Chilwell doesn't come to play, they are fine. Then the midfielder, Martinelli, there's nothing much to say about him. Forward, Haaland. My differential, I've gone for Eze. Man City, Crystal Palace is a bogey team for Man City. It's a bogey team. So they really bug them. It's a bogey team. So I think that they can really upset Man City. Like the way they played against Liverpool. Everyone saw it. They stayed back. They soaked up all the pressure that was to soak up, even though Liverpool is not really great attacking in the attacking sense. And we've seen for most games, usually in the first half, Haaland is isolated. I think it's taken a little longer than we all expected him for him to take. But all the same, he's still banging the goals. He's getting the opportunities. And that's what's most important. But if they're able to isolate Haaland, I know KDB is there. I don't know for some reason why Foden just refuses to pass to Haaland. And I've seen a quote from Foden saying that Haaland is a good pick and all of this. He's a good player. And they'll try to find him more. Meanwhile, you don't find him. He's been in space 2 times. You don't find him.
You have to kill
now
him.
You're saying that he's a good pick. So I think Eze is my differential. It sounds kind of, not making so much sense, but that's how I've gone. Then captain, I've gone for Son. Son has not scored a goal, only assisted this season. He's been off color, but that's what you expect from premium players. They can be off color, but they'll make it. So I think that this is my team for the weekend, and the best of luck to them. If they also come back and they make the points, then I can also make noise about Raymond, because just the Madison pick or you did has a superstar be a. Okay, Kwame B Flat is saying, hey team, what do you guys think of a double Liverpool at the back? I have been playing a 5-3-2 formation and don't want to give up on my Liverpool premium defenders, TA and Robos, just yet. So Alex, what do you think?
Well, I think you should just give them one more game. If they're not able to keep a clean sheet versus Bournemouth, then Robo must go. I sold Robo last week and brought in Zinchenko and then Ivan Toney. Yeah, so I'm happy for him to sell Robo even now if he wants to. But if I were in his shoes, I would have given them one more game.
One more game week. Okay, it's Bournemouth. Yes. So what do you think about my team selection for the week?
For me, I don't agree with your goalkeeper. I think they will concede against versus Leeds. I'm sure they will concede. Sanchez will surely concede. Because I'm actually thinking of playing Rodrigo this time and benching James. Because I think Chelsea will also concede. The best keeper to go for this game week will be a Newcastle keeper, which will be Pope. I think Pope will be playing, if I'm right, Wolves. They are not able to create a lot of chances. Either Pope or Loris.
Okay.
So Spurs can also keep a clean sheet, and that's the base point you need. Defender, I'll say the same thing. I'll either go for a Spurs defender, and that may be Emerson Royale, because he will start for sure, or Trippier. Midfield, that's a tough one. So we are not looking at Salah this time, right? Diaz, I think Diaz will do well versus Bournemouth. So midfield, I'll think of Diaz.
Okay.
And then forward line, again, I'll go for Jesus, because his movement is just superb. I'm not sure Haaland will even start this time around. And maybe he'll come on. I'm not very sure about it. So I'll just go for Jesus. And differential pick, you went with Eze, I agree. The guy is something else. Are you sure he will perform against City?
He can.
I'm actually considering buying him, but not versus City.
No,
he's just too good.
So as Rowland has said, Palace have been a boogie team for City. They know when they meet City, almost every time they meet City, they tend to super strikers, and they are always worrying Pep. So it's something that is there. So I don't know what they have against and the way they play against Liverpool, they will soak the pressure and then hit on counter. City are very susceptible to counter attack as well. So normally he does the very final pass to Zaha. So most likely he can do that. But even if you are buying, you're not buying him only for just this week, but you're buying him because after Gameweek 4, Palace's next 5 pitches are superb. So if you want to buy him now than to wait as well. So that is it with Rowland's pick. These are my picks. So my picks, I have Alisson in goal. I'm expecting. People are saying the Liverpool defense is looking very bad. Pick. The Liverpool defense is looking very yes. It's looking very, very bad. But I think that Klopp will speak to the guys, and very certainly they will have to start doing their job very well. So they should be able to keep some clean sheet. And then Trippier, I know, I've been talking about Trippier from preseason, from our very first preseason show. More like, why am I having Newcastle guys in my team? And I said, time as well. And I'm sure now everybody has seen why I had Trippier. Me now, Rowland will say, when I get it, that I make noise about my pick. Then De Bruyne, as you were saying.
So
I think that De Bruyne is going under the radar because of Haaland, De Bruyne, and Alex, what do you think? De Bruyne and Haaland, who do you think will score the most points the whole season? Well, after I'll come to you. I said De Bruyne. No, De Bruyne and Haaland. I didn't talk. I gave you only 2 options. De Bruyne and
Haaland.
Sure.
Haaland. I think Haaland will do better than De Bruyne the whole season.
Okay. Rowland, De Bruyne and Haaland. Who do you think?
I'll go for De Bruyne.
Why?
Because I prefer a player that I know will play more games than a player who's, KDB is susceptible to the normal benching here and there, but you play more games than Haaland. And usually I prefer players who play more games, not just explosive players.
Okay. Okay. That's another point. And I also think that, De Bruyne is going under the radar because of Haaland. And it's true that City are playing to suit Aaron, and Haaland will score more goals. But if you want to have Kane, you can then go Kane and then De Bruyne. It's possible. You can go Kane and then De Bruyne. Yeah. So that you have no
Salah.
And have Salah. You can still have Salah. This year FPL really helped us with the pricing. It said that you can have a very good team, and still, because we have, like, let's say Pereira and Trippier and even Nico Williams and Patterson, it makes it possible to have this. But just that you are putting all your eggs in one basket, and that's one thing as an FPL manager you always should watch out for that. Ivan Toney is somebody that we know that is going to do, and the guy who's under the radar at City is Gundogan. I've been trying to buy, but Gundogan has risen in price, so now I can't buy him again. But we are having the old Gundogan of 2 seasons ago. Yes,
Raymond Ekuban. You have broken the first rule of key players. Next week, don't do that. You pick one from each team. You are not allowed to pick 2 players from the same team. So be reminded and be guided.
I'm sorry.
Very good.
I'm sorry.
Please go on.
I'm sorry. Managers, I'm sorry. So Gundogan is really another radar. And like Gundogan of the past 2 seasons, whereby he comes into the box at the last minute and gets the shot. He's playing the same way. And we are all thinking about De Bruyne and Haaland. The same thing.
Same way.
I want to get Gundogan into my team. Just that the big at the back is not allowing me. But those who don't believe big at the back, Gundogan is a sure guy to get. Now that Pep is deciding to play Bernardo Silva on the right wing ahead of Mahrez, then it means that the middle is sorted with Gundogan and De Bruyne and then Rodri. So Gundogan is somebody that managers should really know.
It is Pep you are talking about. So Pep has not decided anything. Pep just
and then
I beg you. No confused managers here.
Yo, Mati. It's fear Pepe. Okay. Captaincy is Salah. I want to talk about it. So please, that's my picks. We would move on. Now, I know some managers want to wildcard. So those who want to wildcard, this is a template wildcard team that you can look at. So the wildcard team at Gameweek 4 should have Sanchez in goal with Ward here. You have Nico Williams, Perisic, Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Trippier. Somebody say I call you up a Trippier too much, but he's doing the job. Then you have Rodrigo, Salah, Wilfred, Zaha. Now I know people will not want to buy Zaha this week, but it's better to buy him and then still have him than to wildcard and have a plan to buy him back next week. But if you want to do that, you can have maybe Gross this week and then next week you bring in Zaha. And then you have Andreas as your bench player and then Jensen. Jensen is taking free kicks and corners at Brentford. So he's a good player to watch there. And then we have Gabriel Jesus, Tony, and then Haaland. So a 4-3-3, whereby Perisic, Arnold, Cancelo, and Trippier will play with Salah supported by Rodrigo and then Zaha. And then you have Jesus, Tony, and then Haaland as the 4-3-3. Guys, what do you think? Do you think it's a good wild card for managers to use in the interim for the next 4 to 5 game weeks? Alex, Roland, what do you think?
Maybe Roland will go first, or should I? Should I go first?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's a solid team.
Okay.
The front line, I'm not sure you can complain. The only thing I can add to that will be the Perisic pick. I don't agree to that.
I knew it.
Perisic, no. Perisic, no, because for Perisic, you either get 12 points or 1 point. If you are willing to go with that, then go with it. I won't take those chances where he comes on maybe 60th minute and plays for 30 minutes, or you get him from the beginning and he goes off after 70 minutes. So okay. I'll switch Perisic to maybe an Arsenal defender, and I think I'm good to go with that, or a Chelsea defender. Okay. So you can get either Cucurella or Zinchenko.
Okay. Roland.
Yes, that was my main point. I think that your team is solid. Front three, not much to say about it there. The Perisic move for me is the same. The mantra has always been a player who plays more over a player who's explosive. I believe in continuity more than explosiveness. So if a player gives me 6-6, 6-6 every week, I prefer that to a player who gives me 12 and 1 than 5 and 1 again. No, I like my peace of mind. So Perisic over there, I don't think he can play. They'll be playing 3 game weeks. We have 3 game weeks in a space of 7 days from this weekend. So I don't see him playing 3 games in the week, right? Okay. So it's a put off for me. I mean, all these players, they all stand the risk of being rested or substituted or whatever it is. Especially a player like Haaland. That's where you initially said that you felt Kane would be a good pick. But I just think that those who have Haaland and Kane by the end of the game week will have similar points. So if you have Haaland, because Haaland's games are fairly easier, fairly easier for him to navigate rather than, so you can even come on in the 60th minute and play Nottingham Forest and score, right? Okay. Than a Kane who would have, even though Kane's fixtures are also okay. And Haaland is more or less the main man in the box rather than Kane who wants to do left wing, right wing, center back. Then you do himself left wing player, right wing. When the ball is being crossed, he wants the pass. I just wonder, is the coach really watching? it's very frustrating for us owners. I have decided against going for Haaland for the past 3 game weeks. I haven't really been punished by it. But watching Kane is depressing. It's very, very depressing. The first 3 game weeks, it's just that I have decided that I won't do any transfer. But it's been one of the most depressing things to having to watch. Oh yes, I'll do it, but not now. That's my point. Because I prefer having Kane for the next 3 games than having Haaland. And I said, So that is where I am at right now. So your front line is okay. Now your midfielders, like I said, I also like the kind of flexibility. You have flexibility. You have the highest midfielder is Salah, followed by the next one, who is 7.1. I prefer to have maybe 8, so that it makes it easier for me to switch if a Bowen comes into form, or if say a Mount comes into form, or any player around the 8, Madison, Gundogan, for instance. If now you want to move to Gundogan, how do you move to Gundogan? Because that has great fixtures.
So if I want to move to Gundogan, I just sell Jensen for a 4.5, and then I have the 6 million to move to Gundogan. Gundogan is 7.6 now.
That's it. Makes perfect sense.
Yes. Okay. So you sell up the Perisic. Yes. So that's my point. So my point is that with this kind of midfield, moving up, that is where the issue lies for me. Now, if I had a Gundogan there, moving to an 8 will not be much of an issue. But you have to take a -4 now if you do that move.
You can't stop playing the game.
No. I'm just saying. I mean, like, I get your point, though, but just for those kind of things, us having to watch it. Yes. So managers should not always be in a hurry. I've learned it, and I learned it the hard way last season. That's why I'm taking it easy. That's why Alex was asking me that. Guys want to be like,
Rowland, tell us about your chronicles of last season. What was last season? You not now. It is a history.
Now one we have to do a whole 2-hour show.
Ray, just a quick one.
Yes, Alex.
Okay, so what happened? What happened last season was, I think, a bit of Chimude and complacency. So it's more of you feeling comfortable, right? So when you become comfortable, you feel that, I have to make moves. Now, when you're at the top, you always want to remain there. So if you feel like a player is playing well, you feel like, I have to scout him and get in him early. So, for instance, if I started last season with Greenwood was scoring a goal in every game. I started with Antonio. I started with Benrahma, right? So you look at the team and you're like, okay, you know what, Charlie? This game week, I can foretell that Foden will start. Then I sell, I sell this player, do -4, I go for Foden because Foden is playing maybe a Newcastle, or Foden is playing, an easy team at home, and those were the things that cost me. So that's why I'm saying this season, I just want to take it easy and relax. Just use these few game weeks to find out who the right players are. That's why I'm trying to make sure that my price points are okay. I have an 8 million midfielder. I have 13. I have this. I have that. So that's all I'm looking at. So that's just about it.
Yati. Alex, you want to say something?
Yeah. Are you sure people can afford this team?
Please.
How much?
It is.
What's the total cost?
Exactly 100 million. You can add it and see. So you know that they are adjusted. They are adjusted rises. So Rodrigo has risen, Jesus has risen, Haaland has risen. So managers who doubt I'm not saying you doubt me per se, but it looks too good to be true. And I'm saying that is what FPL has done for us this season. They've given us very, very good teams, so such that you can be able to have it and then enjoy us. So last year we were cutting corners. So that is how it is.
Because I think Ivan Toney is currently 7.2, right?
So Ivan Toney was in my team at 7 million. So he has risen to 7.2. So maybe the little adjustment in the team. I had Rodrigo at 6 million. He's now 6.2. So that is those are the.
He's even 6.3.
6.3. Choice. I can't turn around. So maybe that is why. But because I had some of the players earlier in my team, that's why my team I lost. So Managers might not, if you didn't buy them earlier, it might be a chance. But since the wild card, you can cut corners at a certain place, and then you know what to do.
Look, even instead of your Perisic, you can get a Saliba, or you can get a Ben White. I think Arsenal's defense hasn't been bad.
Saliba, then I can actually go back into be our bonnet. When did he become an FPL player? What I'm watching, I'm listening. Rowland Ekuban. Rowland, explain to me. When did Saliba become an FPL asset? I don't understand the Saliba thing. And I watch it go.
When did Perisic also become an FPL asset?
Exactly.
So you see,
Perisic is a proven Conte asset from Inter Milan. There's no doubt about it.
No. What was Werner? Who was Werner before he came to the Premier League? Who was Werner before he came to the Premier League?
He was a Bundesliga top guy, and he came and disappointed us. Perisic for the
who was games before he came to the Premier League? Let me finish. You have spoken. You are the one who has been on the floor, and I'm telling you that it isn't about. That's why I said it's all about the scout.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Arsenal's defense is looking good. If you don't have the money for Zinchenko, you go for someone who can give you those points that you need to take over. Okay. Like I said, I prefer 6 points of an explosive player who the following game we will flop. Everyone's strategy is different. That's why I'm saying that Perisic was an unknown quantity. Everyone knows what he's done. Haaland, by now, we all expected him to have 10 goals. How many goals does he have? Right? So, yeah, we are all looking at pedigree. Yes, that's true. But when Werner came, he was top scorer. What did he do? Ziyech came. He was in good form. What has he done? Right? Lukaku came. He was in good form. What has he done? So all I'm just trying to say is that managers should also be able to look at different players from different angles and make decisions. It's not just because the person. Because look at Gross, for instance. Last season, who fancied Gross? No one. Okay. But this season, he's come and he scored in one game. Everyone, hey, Gross. Okay, we are all here. Rodrigo has scored in the past game. Who was Rodrigo? Rodrigo was nothing. He was a nobody. Right? But just after the first game, let me just make this quick point. Just after the first game, everyone started buying Rodrigo. We sat here and Alex said, I want to get Rodrigo into my first team. And we laughed at him. We were like, oh, Rodrigo, no.
We didn't laugh at him. No, I didn't laugh at him. Because,
when he said he was getting Rodrigo, everyone was like, Rodrigo. Now, Rodrigo, okay, fine. He has the good stats and all of that. Even I said, but Rodrigo, if you want someone, why wouldn't we be looking at Mount? If you remember perfectly well, we can go back to our videos and watch it. Because he's an unknown quantity. Right? Okay. So I'm just trying to make managers aware. I'm just being the antagonist here. I'm just trying to make managers aware that it's not always about those who have name. But Trippier, for instance, last year, what did you do? Nothing. But you cited him as a player who do well. Is he not doing well this season? He is. So we should also give certain players a certain chance and monitor them and see if they can do well. So that's all I'm saying.
I'm sorry if I was disrespectful to Saliba. Please, I'm sorry. What I was trying to say. What I was saying that what I was trying to say was that Saliba has not reached top level in FPL. When we are mentioning Perisic. Perisic has been here for just 3 weeks. 3 weeks. In the 3 weeks, he has been benched twice. And he has played once. And he has given assists. He has 2 assists and then 2 assists and 1 clean sheet. So, and we know that the Conte system works on the wing backs, and he's going to do the job. Now, when it comes to Rodrigo, I remember very well that during our preseason review, we talked about Rodrigo, and I pinpointed that he's among the guys who is scoring. Alex, I told you that in my very final game with Quanti before the Darwin Nunes issue, I had Rodrigo in my team, and we spoke about Rodrigo. But because of the Darwin Nunes issue, I had to reorganize my team. And Rodrigo went out. And the fact is, I want to see on the show the reason why Alex is among the top managers in the world as of now, around the top 100 cases, because he had Rodrigo as a differential. And that is what we have to do as managers. Because that Rodrigo point is had at the 2 times when most managers didn't have him, the Gameweek 1 and Gameweek 2, he had him. That is why he's high up there. And I salute Alex for that. Alex, 2 points. So, Trippier and then
it was between Rodrigo and Rashford.
You didn't go Man U Alliance way. But the fact is, as we are saying, we need to be open to different players as well. So I think it's what the point Rowland is making is very, very true. So managers, let's note it. It's not only just some players, but I now FPL, I'm playing for the fun of it. Although I want to win and stuff, I really like to pick players that I think will do well. And then the reason why I have Perisic is I know if Perisic does not play, I'll get Jensen on my bench. And Brentford's features for the next games are good, even though Jensen is not a good replacement. But at least better to have somebody who plays in a team whereby he might get an attacking points here or there than that, because Perisic is 12 points or 1. So I'm praying that I'll get that 12 points. That 12 points can
you
be
get
very
one.
superb. No, I'll get the one.
No, if Perisic does not play,
I know.
Because he will surely come on for the one.
Sure. So that is it. So managers, I think Matthew, class reference. Our class, Alex, Matthew's GH is our class reference, and he's our class reference for FPL Ambassadors. So he said he's the ordained class reference, and he says that Man City won't keep any clean sheets against Vieira's Palace, so Zao should be okay. So that is it there. So as you said, there are different players, so we should just all adapt. There's no one fits on, and I think that brings a very key point. That as we are saying that you don't agree big at the back, some agree big at the front, and as you said, there's no one way to play. I think managers are becoming too template-like. Play the game as how you want it. Don't template. Play and get the point. Like how Alex Rodrigo, when nobody Rodrigo. Remember 2 years ago when we went to Hurricane, and then nobody had Hurricane, and then Son hit, and then Kane
exactly. Yes.
Play the game as your own. Don't just listen to analytics or everything. They are all good. They all give you ideas to help you. But go with your picks. Watch the games, watch the highlights, read the stats, and then make your call, and then you are good to go. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't go well, like me last season, you'll be crying. So I think we spent some time on this here. So now, let's move. Rowland, so your team, what are you doing?
I don't do anything.
Okay. Okay, so this is my team. So now I have two things to do. Either I'll bring in Perisic for Patterson, or I'll bring in Pascal Gross for Neto. I'm deciding on one of them. I have not decided yet, but I think I'll go with Perisic this week because it's most likely Perisic will be benched next week. So if he will be benched in the midweek, Gameweek 5, I'd rather buy him this week when I know he will play. I'd rather buy him, but I'm just looking at which move to do first. So originally I had to do the Gross move, but I'm thinking that if I'll buy Perisic next week, he might be benched. So why don't I buy him now and get the point? And then next week I know Gross will definitely play as well. So that is it with my team. Alex, what do you think? What would you do in my case if it were me?
I'll never buy Perisic.
So it's Pascal Gross. So Pascal Gross, right? Okay. So the other option I had, my other team plan is if I don't go Perisic, what I'll do is I'll get Gross here, and then I have the money to upgrade Cafu to Harrison, so that I have a very good bench ready for the rotations. So that is either I'll go with Gross this week, and then next week I'll get Harrison for Cafu, and then I have a very strong bench in case of anything. I'm good to go. So that is the other option I have there. Alex, I think this is your team. What have you done? Have you done a -4?
Do you have two free transfers?
No, you know me. Last week I took a -4, so I have just one.
And you are willing to take another one this week?
I am not taking any -4 this week, please, Maka.
Okay. And that's fine. That's fine.
My -4 was because of Nunes' red card. I wasn't taking -4 until Nunes had that red card. So this is yours. What are you doing?
I also took -4 last week. To bring in Zinchenko, Ivan Toney, and then Pascal Gross.
Top notch.
Because the template is just too much. So I'm trying to have two differentials now and not one. So I have Gross, I have Rodrigo. Even Gross, very soon, he might not even be a differential. The way people are buying him. So I'm looking at Eze now.
Eze, okay.
But I don't think I'll make any transfer. I don't think I'll make a transfer. The team is too
solid
good to make a transfer.
It's too good to make a transfer. Sometimes okay.
So the only thing is, I want to play James, even though Leicester will surely score them. They will concede, I know, but I think James can still score and assist and all that because Leicester is not defending very well. When you look at the potential goals they are likely to concede, I think it's quite on the high. But I don't know who to bench. That's where the whole thing is.
So ideally,
the plan is to bench Rodrigo. No. Ideally, I'll bench Rodrigo and play 11 home fixtures. 11 players who are all playing at home. That's the ideal case scenario. And I'm still tempted to do that, to bench Rodrigo, because the plan is to bench him last week, this week, and then bring him on from next week, which will be midweek, right? So I may still bench Rodrigo and play James. But that's where the whole issue is. Because I want to play the home
guys.
I want to select players playing at their homes instead of playing Rodrigo going away versus. Because playing Rodrigo means I'm going against Sanchez. I don't like to play. I don't want to play against Sanchez. I rather prefer having James.
Okay.
That's where the whole issue is. That's just where the whole thing is.
I think James should play. All jokes aside, but the point is who should bench.
And then,
so I think James should play.
Who are we benching?
The point is who to bench. I would have said Zinchenko because I know Fulham will score, but Zinchenko is also more of an attacking return. So it's a here or there situation. So you have to decide between James and then Zinchenko. I think Rodrigo and Gross should all play.
I don't think it's between No, I think Zinchenko is very explosive.
Sure, okay.
Okay, so the reason why I would not bench Zinchenko is very straightforward. Last week, even though Saliba scored a goal, when you look at the bonus point system, right? Saliba had about, I think, 28 or so. Before scoring, even though Arsenal had scored about 2 goals, Zinchenko was still on 2 points, 2 bonus points, when he had not assisted or scored. Right?
Okay.
So if Saliba had not scored, Zinchenko would have gotten 2 points, 2 bonus points.
Top notch.
And that is the reason why I have Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Zinchenko, and James. These are the kind of players. If a defender fails to score, they're always involved in the game so much that they always get 2 points or 3 points, 3 bonus points, and that's why we want them. So Zinchenko won't go off.
Zinchenko won't go off. Okay. Sure,
it's between Gross and Rodrigo then. One of them will go.
I think.
Or I may just go with the team.
No, what? I just tell you, Alex, again, go with your guy. Rodrigo is your guy. Go with you. Last week I told you go with your guy. He says play Chelsea. Go with your guy. He didn't go. But it's so that's a good thing. When you have a good team, whereby at least you have a good bench, at least even though it's more painful, you do the calculation and things and at least it's better than nothing. So Matthews GH, I'm not doing -4. I said it. I'm not doing -4. As for Foden and Mahrez, it's very clear. Foden is more clear. But I think that right now, looking at how City are playing, it's better you buy Gundogan because Gundogan is more cheaper. It's cheaper than Foden and Mahrez over there. So that is my take for that. So now the funny thing that most managers have not realized is that after this week we have a midweek in game week 5. So there are fixtures that are coming up. And managers should know that after this week, things are going to get very, very fast. Now, we know that we are previewing game 5. You have to have an idea for game week 5. So what you can do after game week 4, come back and watch this portion and see. And then anybody who wants more information, everything can change. Come back to our YouTube page and then come and make some comments. The admins will surely reply to you over there, or follow us on Twitter for more information about there. Now, Alex, next week, taking things like how we expect them to be. Do you expect Haaland to play on Wednesday after playing I think Haaland this week will play on Saturday. Do you expect Haaland to play
on Wednesday? No.
So
will I sell him?
Yeah, okay. Will you sell him? Yes. Will you sell him for Kane? No.
Yeah, because the next game is versus Nottingham Forest. And even if he plays 30 minutes, I'm happy to play him.
Happy to keep him.
And if he comes on to play 30 minutes. Yeah, because it's against Nottingham Forest. Who wants to sell Haaland before that game?
Nobody.
So I think, and Spurs will be playing Nottingham Forest this week, right?
Yeah, this week, yes. So what will you do?
Perfect to actually sell him now.
Will you sell him now? And
to be perfect to sell him now, now I'm thinking about it. Get Kane and then keep Kane and then play Kane on Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. Let's see how that.
I will think about it.
You think about it. Okay, great. So that week, the fixtures, the standout fixtures is Liverpool against Newcastle. Do you think Liverpool against Newcastle would be okay, or you think that Newcastle will prove stuff, or you think that guys should go? It'll be a very tough call looking at next week. What do you think the captaincy will be best from, or do you think that Maddison will be a good captain against Man U?
I don't captain players against Man U. So don't expect me to captain it. Next week I can captain Rodrigo against Everton.
So that's very true.
I can easily captain Rodrigo.
That was the reason why I wanted to get Harrison for the next game, so that I have double leads.
I'll captain Rodrigo possibly. I'll just go with Rodrigo.
Okay, so Alex is saying a differential captain, Rodrigo.
Next week I'll just go with Rodrigo. Yeah.
What will you think about captaining James against Southampton away?
No, I won't. They will concede. So I won't.
They will concede. Okay. Will you think about captaining Mitrovic against Brighton at home?
Chelsea will surely concede a goal against Brighton. Oh no. I won't go against Sanchez. So I think the possible captains, right, will be captain maybe Jesus against Aston Villa.
Okay.
At home.
Okay.
Or Rodrigo against Everton.
Okay.
I don't think Liverpool will score a lot of goals, so I'm not sure about Liverpool. I'm not even sure about City. Because the only City player I can think of is Cancelo. I don't like captain defenders. So I'll either go with Rodrigo or Jesus.
But that said, I think Cancelo might be a very good captain against Nottingham Forest at home, Etihad. So that's something that managers can look at.
Perfect.
So because the captaincy is not looking very, very clear for Gameweek 5. And that we're saying that managers will talk about it on Twitter after this game week. We have to wait for the game week to end for talk about it. You can't captain Kane against West Ham away. Even though that game can open up, it's a very tricky thing to do. And then, so are you saying that people should not captain Salah next week? Anfield.
People can captain Salah. I want captain Salah.
Okay. So the recommended captains for next week. The next week.
Salah is not playing well.
Talk. I'm here.
So I'm looking at Rodrigo. Rodrigo, Jesus, or Cancelo.
So apart from those ones, I also look at Mitrovic, Mo Salah, and Jamie Vardy against Man U at the King Power Stadium.
I'm not sure about that.
So, but managers, what you can do is that make sure that game week 5, if you are doing any transfer, the transfer should be to rather strengthen your bench, because next week we expect FPL rotation, the midweek. So if you have any transfer to do, try and make your transfer to strengthen your bench, because I think all of us have a very good team there. And don't do Kane to Haaland to Kane next week. As Alex has said, Haaland can come off for 30 minutes and come and score 2 goals against Nottingham Forest at Etihad. So let's watch that there. So somebody is asking that should we triple captain? Please, you can do triple captain territory. Favor, I beg you. You're my friend. I beg you. Do or cry. I know guys are scoring the high points and stuff. I know last week some people captain triple captain Salah because it was Man U, and we all saw what happened. It did them shit. So please, you do triple captain are best reserved for double game week, no matter however you look at it. But then those who want wild card, you have done a template wild card for them to look at over there, and then I think they are good to go. So Alex, this week, who are the captaincy? Best captaincy pick this week are this current week.
I'm torn between Salah and Jesus.
Salah
Jesus, one of them.
Salah Jesus.
I'm currently on Salah, right?
Currently on Salah. Okay, great. Okay, what about Kane or Haaland?
Haaland, no. It will be a difficult game. Kane, yes. If I had Kane, I'll be tempted to do that.
So, are you more tempted now to buy Kane?
Yes, but I think I'll listen to press conference. I want to have an idea who'll be playing this weekend and all that. If it comes across as if Haaland may not even start, then I'll keep Haaland because he'll play against Nottingham Forest next week, Wednesday. I think Wednesday or Thursday. If he starts this game, or if Pep says that he's starting, then I'll be tempted to even sell him because I don't expect so much from this weekend's game. I'm looking at the Nottingham Forest game.
But Alex, all jokes aside, the fact is that Crystal Palace game can be an open game. You know, the game against Newcastle, whereby
we want to be.
Oh no, I'm just saying the game against Newcastle, whereby Haaland scored, had an assist. It was just this we had assist, right? He had two very clear chances. One that hit the post.
No, this week he scored. He scored.
Yeah, he scored. He scored. He could have had 3 goals. So no matter how it is, it looks like he can do the job there. So what do we say?
Oh yes. He's not blank. He's not blank this season. So that's possible.
Okay. So that is it with Haaland over there. So managers should watch.
When you are captaining him, you want someone who will
get more points. Okay, sure. Okay, good. So now, managers, we are saying that we are creating a sponsorship package. Anybody wants to sponsor our show can contact us, and let's have any little business or small business that you have. You can contact us. I will always give you adverts on the show, and then you want to grow together as a family. And in FPL and whatever business you are doing as well. Charlie, class preferred says Matthews GS says captaincy there and one name Mohamed Salah. I say captaincy there and one name Mohamed Salah. So that is it over there from him there. So we want to say another special congratulations to what do you call it? Neo Se Banaman. Last week we took it 1,000 and into one bow. Or boys behind one bar, but whatever it is, it's all good over there. The code is up here. So the code for this league is up here. So I2G9ZF. I2G9ZF. Anybody who wins would get the 1,000 Ghana cedis. But as we have said, the requirement is very simple. Subscribe to the channel. This year is not just subscribe and interact with us. Don't subscribe and run away. Subscribe and let us have you here. Let's have the chat and let's have other discussions, and we'll see how whoever wins the FPL chosen. So Alex, Charlie, thank you very much for your time. You had to take off your busy schedule to have you here. Thanks once again. Rowland was not able to join us. I think the internet was having a challenge over there. And then managers, all the best to everyone. And I'll end the show by saying that for Matthew G, he says that Captain Sidiye and Nwane Mohamed Salah. All the best to us. We'll meet, God willing, next week, Thursday. Alex, thank you very much. Bye.
Charlie, happy to be here.
Great. Bye.
Bye for now.